Well, thank you, Scott, and thank you, Yvonne, for asking me along to be here with you. I won't go through the list of dignitaries to welcome again, except to say that the Shadow Minister for Mental Health and Ageing, Connie Fierravanti-Wells, who has shadow responsibilities for this area, is here as well, and I welcome her. I'm very pleased to be able to do this. As the Minister for Ageing, I have portfolio responsibility for palliative care, given that palliative care is predominantly an issue for people in older age. But today's event recognises that palliative care affects people at all ages. It affects families in relation to their children, their spouses, their siblings and their parents as well. So I want to make that point that I am here as Minister for Ageing, but the Government and all members of Parliament are very conscious that palliative care is an issue for Australians of all age, from all backgrounds. I'm really passionate about this area, and there's been, I think, a greater level of public discussion about dying with dignity since the release of the Productivity Commission report into ageing last week. And that is significantly, if not predominantly, because of the work that PCA has been doing in the last few months. Dying is not a topic that Australians are comfortable talking about very well. Traditionally, it is one of those topics that we are usually too polite to talk about, but it is a topic we need to talk about more openly for a range of reasons, not least of which is the ambition of every Australian to die with dignity and to have their family members die with dignity. Die with physical dignity, die with emotional dignity, die with spiritual dignity. Die in a place that is the place of your choosing as much as possible, with people around you that you want in familiar surrounds. And that really is the essence of palliative care. And this guide shows that talking about dying is difficult in the most normal circumstances, which is about older people, your parents and your grandparents. But it is particularly difficult when you are talking about the death of children. So what we do need, all of us, whether you are family members, clinicians or people in public office, is some very clear guidelines about how to do this well. Too often it's easy, as a friend of mine used to say, to pull your cardi over your head and try and ignore it. Well, that's just not the right thing to do. As a parent of primary school aged children, I was really pleased to read some of the material in here about some ways in which you can talk to children about dying. That is very instructive for me as a parent, but I think it's instructive for all of us here in this place as holders of public office and for the community more generally. I also read last night the Shepherd family story, which is a deeply emotional story, but also a spiritually very reinforcing story. And I'm just so pleased the Shepherds have come along today to share their story with us and just reinforce the importance of recognising that palliative care is not just an issue for older Australians, it's an issue for all Australians. And on that note, I have great pleasure in launching this incredibly important resource. Thank you.